Okay. We didn't even. What was we talking about anyway?
We're talking about no, we were doing the.
Oh, the respect,
Respect
losing
on it.
respect. Uh, eh, sorry, guys. We
We back.
had a little bit of technical difficulties with the live stream, but we are back. All right, we appreciate you guys coming back. Um, White Star GB.
What up? I believe that's me.
I'm trying to figure out where we going next, man.
No, whatever you got lined up, man. Let's go to the Ratchet Kids, yo.
All right, okay, all right. Let's see where we at. Let's see where we at.
Well, all right. Play that last video, that respect video, and let's put a little cherry on it.
Okay.
You lose some type of respect for your man, and you in a relationship, and you lose respect for him as a leader and a provider, in his judgment, you just lose respect in him. The relationship is over. When you can go and comfortably accept anything from the next man while you're in your relationship, it's over. The relationship is over because
Comfortably take money from another man. Losing respect is subjective as well too. Like it is, it it ranges everything. What you might lose respect for somebody for doesn't mean that I would lose respect for that person
Mhm.
for the same thing. She's really just trying to justify taking things from other men. Honestly,
That's what it seems like.
that's I was trying to be a grown up. Looking at it the first time, you know what I mean. I was trying to be objective and look at it, but honestly, she's just trying to justify accepting gifts from other men because she supposedly lost. She wants to stay in a relationship. It
Mhm.
sounds like no, we're all good. We're in a relationship. I just lost a certain level of respect for you. So now the door is open for me to entertain
Other men.
and to get gifts from them. But shit ain't life is like nothing in life is for free.
Well,
Now, what do you owe these other men now?
okay. Well, this is why I feel it's a problem when, and I think it's certain relationships. Well, it might be a sign of the times where men lead with money,
Mm.
and a lot of times, we have our ups, we have our downs.
Yeah.
When we up and we down,
Yeah.
and you get that woman when you up, and she expects you to be up all the time,
Mm.
and that's what she respected about you.
Yeah.
And then when you have a moment of downtime, she's gonna lose that, right?
Like in Wolf of Wall Street. It kind of hurt me a little bit the way Shorty was acting. It felt like she really liked him.
You're gonna attract what you put out.
Mm.
So if you lead with that,
Yeah.
when you can't provide that anymore, or when you're not, if that's what you lean on,
But everybody knows it comes with ebbs and it's not hard.
everybody
Listen,
doesn't. Everybody doesn't know, right?
most people
Wait,
know that
no. Okay,
money comes in ebbs and flows.
I get. Okay, you're right. People do know, but if a female got with you because you was papered up, her mentality is, I want dudes that's papered up. So my man right now, he ain't papered up no more.
Mm.
But son over here, he papered up too. You ain't the only papered up nigga that was trying to holler at me.
Right.
So when you down, he up still. And
But I was looking at it.
he's willing to let me kind of seamlessly flow into the same lifestyle with him. If
But the paper got you into the door. Like, don't you? It's not hard to get a woman to like you though, and to really like believe in you.
no, it's not.
So once the paper is there and the paper come in the door,
If
you
you got the
let her
paper,
know like, yo, we're up right now. Listen, it might be a little time where you're gonna slip, you know what I mean? But
who say that? Who say that?
most reason what people who are planning for things. You know what I mean? Like when my wife and I were planning for the house, I let the family know, like, listen, we're going on vacation now. Next year we ain't going, and the year after that we probably going late in the year. Like we're gonna have. I like to call them in my household oodles and noodles years. You know what I mean?
Okay.
When we're saving for something big, it's the oodles and noodles year. We're gonna tighten up with the resources around the house. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I feel like if you're upfront, if and you're honest about those kind of things, and we kind of let like, listen, we got a big thing coming. We need to gather all our resources and push towards that. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like we're not gonna starve, but we're not Uber eating it every Friday. Like we're gonna tighten up the belt a little bit around the way.
All right. If you initially meet your wife and you're courting her, and every night or every week is Brooklyn Chop House, it's Mr. Child's,
Right.
it's Capital Grill,
Right. Right.
Nicest restaurants and shit.
Come on.
And
Like
you riding a certain way all the time.
Clean.
Right? When it's gift time, when it's birthdays, it's Christmas, it's things like that.
Clean.
It's she getting Chanel, she getting whatever all the designer bags and all that shit. You understand what I'm saying? Now,
paint the picture.
You might have landed her that way, right? Because you had to bomb her with all the shit. Paper to let her know that you got it like that.
Right.
All right. You didn't show any other skill set, right? Your skill set was money, right? Because you felt like that was your strength. Niggas play to their strengths, right? If they don't have personality like that, or they don't have anything past the first things that you see, whether it be a car, whether it be jewels, whether it be the clothes or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like, yo, I'm gonna lean on that. It's niggas that they lean on. I got paper.
Yeah.
If a chick is out and about and she with a dude that she might love, what's gonna be his line? If he got paper, like, yo, I changed your life. I had you eating this, that, and the third. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna lead with the paper.
Right. But once you start digging a person, once you start liking a person, either the shorty's gonna be like, all right, listen, we gotta start putting some money up. We gotta start investing. We gotta put some money into certain things. Or the dude is gonna, after sex one night, laying in bed, and like, yo, what do you want to do with your life? She like, yo, I went to cosmetology school, but I'm not really starting it. All right, listen, why don't we just chill out for like a couple of weeks or maybe a couple of months? I'm gonna give you some money to open up a shop. You know what I mean? Like, it's gotta be a next level of this. Like, everybody, like, that's a young thing. Like, everybody know that fast money isn't gonna last forever. You know what I mean? Like, we gotta start putting some money away if we're gonna build. Or else it just never really got past that build stage. You know what I mean?
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
You assuming that everybody's building like that, right? Well, if we're talking about two people that are shallow, two shallow people.
But if you paper it up, then I'm assuming you got a roster. Like, one of the creams got to rise to the top. If you got 5 chicks you entertaining because you papered up, you leading with the money. Hopefully you're not just leading with the money with one female. If you got the money, hopefully you spreading the wealth. And you letting one rise to the top. The one that's going to rise to the top is the one that's really digging on you and the one who's trying to secure her future.
Possibly, but some dudes, the one that rises to the top is probably, she could be just the hottest. She could just be the best looking.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying? She looked the best on my arm.
You could let Slim Thug had that one.
You know what I mean?
You don't need that one.
So yeah, yo,
I don't work.
Men, I don't think they should lead with their money. But when you lead with your money, yo, it could be detrimental.
But it's low hanging fruit. Everybody leads. Men will lead with their money a little bit. Women will lead with their looks. Like, it's to be expected. That's when men go to the gym. That's why men get haircuts. That's why men buy expensive cars. That's why they buy expensive clothes and all that. Like, you gotta lead with, like you look like you got a little something.
I think that
we're not gonna do that.
No,
we're not, because we've all been there.
No, I believe we all have to have some level of like a minimal aesthetic, right? But I don't think all women are into like, yo, first of all, I don't think they're into the men that lead with that. Because to a lot of women, that shit is corny. It's like, all right, what do you past that? Do you get any deeper than that? But a lot of dudes don't get that. They don't get that deep because they don't have to. Because if they're dealing with a certain type of woman, right? That's what it's about.
Well, the proper usage of it, like, all right, if you're going fishing, right, you still got to wake up at 6 a.m. You got to row out to the middle of the water. You got to be patient and you got to be quiet. But you're still going to put a worm on that hook. So you drop that hook in that water and that worm is wiggling. That's what the money is. The worm, you still doing the work. You still got everything else, but you put a little, you know what I mean? You put that worm on that hook to get that fish, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta, it's something that you shouldn't lean on it. You're not gonna get out there at noon and just throw a worm out and just hoping, you know what I mean? You're supposed to do all the other work and then use it responsibly.
Like what I said though, you could start with one skill set, but you gotta show that you're versatile.
When she got,
like it's not all about the paper. Nah. Oh, you got paper, but you a smart dude. Yeah. Oh, you got paper, but you got a sense of humor.
Right.
You got some intellect. You got some you more than whatever, like whatever you do right now to get your paper, you could get deeper than that. You can get better than that. Absolutely. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But I think it's a lot.
You got paper and you're invested in our future. Or you got paper, or you know what I mean? Like, like you're the perfect person to build with, or you got,
But everybody's not like that. Yeah. Everybody's not like that. So you got, first of all, like it's not just about the men, it's about the women also. And it's about the women that the men choose. And a lot of times it's shallowness. The same way the guy is shallow and he's leaning on his paper, same way a woman would just lean on her looks. Like, yo, I don't got to bring nothing else, but if I just look good and I'm on this nigga's arm, he gonna treat me to the best. I'm a riding style, I'm a eating style, and I'm gonna live in style if he wife me up.
It's funny how they're made for each other though, right? The dudes with the papers kind of lean on the extra pretty chick who kind of lean on just her looks, and they just kind of recycle each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, you get what you put out, bro. Right. You get what you put out.
Yeah.
So
yeah. All right, yeah. So let's go to the next joint.
All right, so we got dance teacher, Pound Town, women obligated to have sex.
You go with the dance teacher.
Closure, 13 closure. All right, dance teacher. All right. So this video has been going kind of viral about a teacher that's having a little bit of a meltdown about her students. All right, we'll jump into it.
Your 5-year-old daughters are asking to listen to Pound Town and Ski Yee. Your 5-year-old daughters are asking, can we hear Pound Town? I'm playing them Princess Tiana ballet music. And they are asking me, can we hear Pound? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I'm so scared for these little girls today because this is the most insane agenda push I have ever seen in my life. We do freeze dance. You guys' daughters are twerking at 5. Where's the parenting? Fine. It is, where's the boundaries? Where's the help? Y'all are not helping your kids. You're hurting them. They're putting they're hitting each other and hitting other kids. You address the parent. The parents are telling you, you don't tell my daughter what to do. It's not that bad. Well, at least she was in the class. At least. It's all these excuses. Y'all come in and you're more worried about what's going on your Instagram and TikTok feed versus being a parent. Be a fucking parent. You guys are horrible fucking parents. I told a young little girl, please sit in your spot. You're not my mom. You don't tell me what to do. Okay. When her mom came to pick her up, I said, hey, your daughter's having a hard time following instructions. And 7 times today I've had to redirect her to just sit in her spot. Well, clearly, where's the boundary? Well, clearly she didn't want to sit. And mind you, this is a mom. Clearly she didn't want to fucking sit right there. So, I mean, if she telling you she don't want to do something, why keep asking her to do it? You know she's not going to do it. What world do we live in? Like, what? And you guys is...
Sheesh.
Let me go on to you first,
Oh,
cool.
man.
You're the educator.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
What are your thoughts, Playboy?
So from a large part or perspective, part of my perspective, there is a lot of truth to what she said.
Mhm.
Right? There is. Whether it's lack of, kids really just being exposed to things too early, to kids copying the kids who were exposed too early, right?
Mhm.
Like, there is a level of that, and she got very emotional about it. She seems to care.
Performative.
Yeah, but I've found myself sometimes, with a certain kid where I'm like, damn, what the hell's going on? Like, yo, it's crazy at the crib. You calling the crib, you ain't nobody. I've called cribs and gotten responses like that. You dig what I'm saying? I've seen kids run away from their parents because well, listen, if you know me, you know the work I've spent working with children. I've seen all of those things.
Mm.
And it does make you feel like that a little bit, like, the fuck, like.
But don't you can write those people off? Because cool. Sorry to interrupt.
Not that you write them off.
In the line of work that I'm in, there's a level of a partnership that I need from the customer in order to get results.
Right.
If I see that I'm not going to get that partnership out of you, I'm just going to take your money until the contract run out. I'm just going to write you off. I can't help you.
Hey, I'm glad that you said that.
I can't care more than you care.
This is why I'm glad you said that, because I'm 16 years-ish working in that field, right? I would say that's where I'm at now. Not that I will write you kid off, but I just know this is what happens. Me, I'm going to give you some advice on what you probably, especially now, because now I work with like 11 through 14.
Yeah.
Very different mind frame of
very impressionable years.
Kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They got a lot going on in their life at the time. It's a lot going on. Because little kids, you know what I mean, sometimes some are just bad and, they just might not respect you as an educator. When you get to those middle ages or whatever, you're earning your respect.
Yeah.
Right? Like me showing up day one at a middle school, no, they don't. I don't care what I have to say. My time and equity that I've earned with the children, now I can be like, yo, bro, you probably, but now look, it still goes like this. Yo, you probably shouldn't be doing that. You already know what's going to come with that. They give the rebuttal, it's coming. Then that's when it's like, all right, well, I told you.
That's your own risk.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I told you.
Mm-hmm.
And what's so funny about that is when you move that way and it doesn't go their way, they come back. And next time you tell them something, it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I totally probably can relate to a degree of Shorty's frustration.
Do trash kids come from trash parents?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it does. You know what I mean? Because parents that are super involved, super, in on the day-to-day with their children usually aren't a problem at school. Their problems are going to come down the line. You know what I mean? We're talking school, like formative years, 5 years old. We're talking about elementary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So no, that kid is not being exposed to. That's right. That's what she said, around 5.
Yeah, 5. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Niggas not listening.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
No repercussions.
There's gonna be a level. There's gonna be a level of not listening. Boys are not gonna listen as much as girls are. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be a level of that, but there's a root that it does come from. It comes from the parents. By the time you get to middle school, that could be where the outside world is playing a part on.
That's what I was going to
You know
ask
what I'm
you.
saying?
What age does the outside world matter more than what's going on in the house?
I would say
do you feel
on a public school setting,
where like nature takes over when nature takes over
7,
from
8?
7, 8. Yeah, it starts. It starts.
Yeah, I think so.
It starts 7, 8.
I would say about like 10, but yeah.
But 10, I mean, I think
right.
10 it's already in full swing already.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? By 7 or 8, they're starting to listen. Think about it. By 7 or 8, your kids showing you music that you didn't show them.
What can parents do to keep their influence with their children?
Be consistent.
All right.
In what you lay forth, right? And you have to show a lot. You know what I mean? Keep them busy. You know what I mean?
Keep them busy,
kids should
right?
be busy.
Yeah.
They
should you tighten up? Should you be more strict at those ages?
Strict like what? Like
if you told them not to do something, or you told them not to watch or listen to a certain thing, and you find them listening to those things, should you reinforce those? Like really kind of like double down on that?
Yeah.
Should you just give up? Like all right,
you gotta double down. There's
right.
battles.
You really like the Snoop record, like you can just play it. Like you know what I mean? Because that was the thing for us. Like in our generation, it was the Snoop record.
But look,
it was the Doggy Style.
It was when
record, you know what I mean?
Your parents probably realized that there was no stopping the train. This train is going that way.
You know, I got Haitian parents, yo. They never gave up.
Oh, see, my mother quickly just realized hip hop is going. Whatever this music is going that way, and my kids is listening to it, and you know. But I mean, I
just accept it.
Sure. My pops had all the hip hop albums.
Yeah, not accept that. But no,
it was the game.
He was living it though.
Yeah.
He was living that. You know, you got to think that age group was kind of living that particular music. But I would just say like consistency, like you said, double down if you know you feel the need to. Take some shit away if you need to.
Right.
We already know the physical stuff does not work. It's not helpful for anybody.
Well, a little pow work every once in a while. Come on now. Come on now.
You know what I mean, but I mean, you gotta think when after a while you're gonna have to hit that person like a real person, right? Like my daughter does combat 2 times a week, full contact combat, gloves, shit, headgear. She's fighting, right? She's taking kicks from a kid her age that are trying to kick the shit out of her. So for me to hit her, I'm gonna have to hit you. And then that's like, you know, I've lost already at that point too. That's the thing too, man. Just know you're not going to win every battle. These kids are going to have to, you know.
I think some people would ask like, all right, what's the big deal? What do you think if you had to push into the future, 10 years, 15 years, is it going to really have a heavy impact on these little girls if they listen to Pound Town and Ski?
Yeah, because it's programming. So they're being programmed at an early age.
To what though?
That to not have any decorum, not to respect or take instruction from authority. You know? Okay. Well, yeah, it's your teacher. That's the authority figure. Like we've always been taught. I've always been taught to give adults a certain level of respect.
Have you ever been heavily influenced by music though? Like where it's
like to the wrong person, brother. Music.
I mean influence to the point where like Core, you were a big Dipset fan.
Absolutely. Still.
When you saw they were going the gang direction, did you be like, yo, I'm about to be blood?
No, I did not say I was about to be blood, but I was hyper blood sensitive.
You a typo?
I was affiliated, dog. I was affiliated right there. Yeah, no. But I get what you're saying. No.
I feel like I was always able to take the good out the music. I liked the fashion. I loved the lyrics. I loved everything, but I always felt like it was make-believe because the real people that I knew, the real adults that I knew didn't act like that. And I kind of saw the repercussions. I saw that these rappers died or they went to jail or they Like it really wasn't a life. And if you really listen to the lyrics, they were really always kind of, yeah, there was a little bit of glamorizing of it, but I never wanted to go to Rikers Island. Like like it didn't make it seem fun. So I always looked at it like art, like I really, really liked it, but I never sold drugs because rappers spoke about selling drugs, or I don't know. I wasn't really influenced by the battle. I loved everything else,
But I also
Mhm.
think it's because
I was able to separate it.
but also too, I think it was because we were living alongside of it.
Yeah.
I think that makes a difference.
You know
Like
what
I
I think
liked
it is?
wrestling, but I
think-
never wore a Speedo to school.
Like your peer, okay,
All
look,
right.
it's like
So,
you can separate it, like, right? Like it's like
All right.
like my brother, my brother, for instance, like
Mhm.
he's the same like age or two of Nas, right?
Mhm.
So a person your age can't necessarily influence you to do something crazy. You know what I mean? Like you can just vibe
You
along
think?
with it.
kind of can, yeah.
I don't think
that's
so.
the perfect age
Nah,
to
nah.
do it.
You know what I think it is? That person has to be. You have to look up to that person, right? So your brother he lives in Long Island. Is he really gonna look up to a nigga like that? A nigga that grew up in the projects?
You'd be surprised. People
All right. No, okay.
And
Let's just say.
describing it.
Wait. Oh, no.
Describing
It's something. No. All right. Depending on what type of dude we talking about that live in the suburbs,
Mhm.
like if you a broke ass nigga, like really, really, like yo, you down, and you might look up to a nigga in the projects, right? But
not even broke. What if you don't have an identity?
bruh, that's a possibility, but it's only gonna go so far. It's only gonna go so far, right? So I hear what you're saying, right? So I remember when Snoop and them was popping, right?
Yeah.
And I won't say any names, but it was dudes that went to high school with us, and they were like, they were in the category of probably like super lame, right? And they came looking like fucking gangbangers from LA. They was wearing
That's wild.
flannels, and they would button the top or whatever and leave the breast open and shit like that.
But is
like,
that just the fashion? Is that just that? Were they acting like that too? Or
what I'm trying to say is that these are kids from the suburbs. That's as far as they're gonna go. They're not gonna start like, yo, we're gonna start a Crip set.
Yeah,
they ain't doing all that.
You
understand what I'm saying? That's
harmless.
how far it's gonna go. So, all right, these young ladies now, if they broke as hell in Memphis or some shit like that in the hood, and they look at her, Sexy Red, where it's like, all right, she made it from where I'm from.
Yeah.
And the gutter from where I'm from. So I look up to her. But a young lady that lives in the suburbs of Missouri that has everything in the world that she wants, and she has all the, everything lined up for her, college, all that good shit. She's not gonna be like, I want to be like Sexy Red. Because she doesn't have dreams of being, or she has aspirations of a career, a job, and things like that. When you have no hopes or no you feel like you have no opportunities, where you feel like the only way I can get out of this is stripping or being a rapper or something like that. That would be the better version of what I want to be. Like, I feel like, yo, I see chicks that make it out, they get money, they strip, right? Or if you lucky, you become a rapper, you become famous. That young girl that lives in that circumstance, she may look up to a Sexy Red, but your chicks that's like, oh yeah, I live in the suburbs, I live in a crib, a nice ass house, my parents do well, and I'm gonna go to this college and I'm gonna do this when I get older. They're not gonna be like, yo, I'm throwing all the shit away to be like Sexy Red.
But they could still listen to the music and enjoy it.
And that's all it is. You're just enjoying the music. Right. You understand what I'm saying?
So what's the difference? What? Because she has more of an opportunity, or the parenting is better?
I think everything is relative, right? So if you live in a better situation, you probably do have better parents, right?
Yeah.
It's all relative. It probably has something to do with you might not have great parents. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just feel like it's all relative. But I think for some people,
is black culture trash culture? Like, is it bad? Like inherently, like, is it inherently bad? And we really got to kind of take it in doses. But
no, it's
too much
not.
of it
It's
can corrupt people.
all right. Black culture is not trash culture. So
Popular black culture.
one particular artist or a particular time is not going to define black culture.
It's always it's been like that for our age. Like for every Sexy Red, there was a Akinelli put it in your mouth. There were always sexually explicit songs.
There was a balance.
No matter who it
there
came
was
from.
There was always a balance.
Okay.
Right now, when it comes to female hip hop artists, I'm not sure if there is a balance. There is super nasty. There's nasty, and then there's super nasty.
Yeah.
There's no like on the other side where it's, we don't take our clothes off.
Yeah.
We just spit bars.
What do you consider Doja Cat?
Nasty.
No, she's
still
she's not
heavily on sexuality.
I think sometimes she's more or less like a freaking R&B singer, or even a pop singer.
No, she's
she's
a nasty. She's a troll, and she gets nasty when she has to.
She's classified as a rapper, whether which is interesting or not, but that's what it is. So, the reason why I said it is because she's a number 2 right now. So what's interesting to me is that we still have that no offense to Sexy Red, that never makes number 1. That never is nasty and explicit. Well, I guess maybe Snoop might have made number. Well, I don't know. I gotta check the stats. But regardless, that never really makes it all the way to the roof.
Mm-hmm.
It occupies the first few floors for sure. You know what I'm saying? Even it's peeking up into the the high riser floors. But
who has to get behind it to take it there?
I just don't think
I don't think that represents black culture though.
It's a large but it's a large country. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
The country's a lot bigger than a lot of us.
Non-black people aren't doing the too raunchy shit. That's like a us thing.
Yeah,
like,
they're just peeking at it.
Yeah, we like to see the train wreck and
but it's always guilty pleasure for us though.
It is.
That's we all loved it in the dark.
We've talked about Sexy Red on this show like 5, 6, 7 times already.
Yeah,
like
she's made her way.
You know what I mean? Yeah. We like her here.
Yeah, she's made her way on to
yeah, you know what I mean? Like
conversations.
She's she represents a certain part of the
that and understand though. And you can somewhat, even though you don't like to or not relate to, right? You may not want to personally relate to it, but you know a person like that.
We used to want to keep our daughters off the pole,
right,
and keep our sons out of jail.
That's the goal.
And it just seems like now these kids are pushing that agenda. They're pushing.
The kids are not pushing the agenda.
No. I'm sorry. The young parents are pushing the kids.
Right, but it's the thing. There's 3 black men sitting here. I don't think any one of us are worried about our daughters on a pole.
Not even close.
Right.
Not even close.
Lord knows.
I'm doing the work though.
Lord knows what they're going to be.
I'm keeping my kid away from these fuck niggas.
Lord knows what they're going to be, what they're going to do in their life. We're pretty sure if we had to bet our bottom dollar, it wouldn't be on a pole. Whatever it is you decide, whatever you decide to do. Our sons, it's you got to work on them. Make sure because jail could happen by accident.
For
definitely. Men, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jail could happen by accident for men. Like, some shit just happened. My man popped off, and I was there. And
but you don't want him thinking that he missed a 17.5, and now he on the
you don't want him thinking he missed a 17.5. But we have to remember for our young men out there, this shit can happen by accident.
Yeah,
it can happen by circumstance. A look, a glance, everything goes left. So we're on bated breath. The young men should be on like you know what I mean? Check the temperature every day for what could possibly have any affirmations. Young men. But yeah, man, just to tie back to Shorty, man, I understand her pain. It's not nice to see because you want to do so much for him, you want to try, but you know, as the parents, we got to take responsibility for what we put out in the world.
So
we allow this though.
Yeah, I
Wow.
mean, yeah,
So, what's that?
yeah.
Because all right, we should have some control over what grabs our community or grabs our culture. Right? So I don't want to place blame, but I think this is what kind of happens when the community is being led by women, right? So what happens is that
Took a dead.
they it's like, all right, we here and we don't care how it is represented. It's like as long as it's woman, right? But they have to, if they're leading or they're in the places, right? I heard you say on many occasions, Corey Cool, about the women that are in executive positions in the music industry or whatever. Why would they pick someone like this? Because, you know, to be honest with you, she has a couple of good records, but she's not like lyrically talented or anything like that, right? So it's a concerted effort to push her, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is what happens when you have sort of like a symbolic victories rather than like having real power to really like
basically it's just mad women out right now, so we good. Let alone how we got here, what
Yeah,
we talking about
yeah.
to get here, and
but there's somebody else doing this, and I don't think it's these black women, right? That's shaking and moving in the industry. Why would they pick her? You understand what I'm saying?
I feel like she's the people's champ. I feel like they pick the people who
The people's champ for what? though?
well,
Well,
I
remember,
feel
you
like
know-
she garners a reaction, good or bad, on social media, and that's how they picked her. Honestly, I feel like they
it
pick
has to be
whoever
more than
moved the
that.
needle. I feel like
I
she
th-
moved the needle.
I don't
and
I
we're
believe you.
talking about it like we're like she represents a certain level of society, you know, that is a little bit it's what's the word? It's I'm not gonna say triggering, but yeah, it's triggering.
All right.
It
So
solicits a reaction, either good or bad. You're never indifferent to it. Either you love it or you don't. It's never like, whatever. That's another one. It's not like Ice Spice. Ice Spice is like she could just exist. But the worst of the worst, like, you know what I mean? The Sukis and all that, either you're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. And that's what people are looking for.
My point is that it doesn't have to be there. It doesn't have to be there. Because it's not even, I can't even say it's good enough that it's undeniable. Right?
It's undeniable. It's undeniably reactive. You are going to react to it. That's how it's undeniable. Either you're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. It's gonna solicit a reaction.
I believe once it's a machine behind it, you can make it do whatever you want it to do. As long as you have it in people's face, right? Things can be pushed or they can be suppressed. But evidently, they want this particular content, this, you know, her persona and everything that she does, they're trying to push it. Yo, the last clip that I saw of her was she was in a prison with a bunch of niggas in the background, and she's pregnant. That shit look crazy.
And barefoot.
Yo, and it's like
the most.
Like, yo, bro, it's not like it's not like you could say like, yo, she is fire. Yo, she be spitting. You can't even say that. She's trash lyrically, right? And she's not, you can't even say like, yo, she's bad as hell. It makes no sense. And I get what the teacher's saying is that they have an agenda that they're pushing, right?
Who has an agenda though? That's the thing that bothers me. It's like, all right, you want to blame the boogeyman. It's the parents, dog. It's not no agenda. These niggas is fucking buying it, and these niggas is playing it for their kids around the house, and that's why you listening
People ain't
to it.
buying that.
It ain't
shit.
the man like that. This ain't no Shaft movie with the man and just sitting up in the office and just trying to like create like this whole fucking shit. Nah, nigga. Niggas is eating this trash up on this shit and they eating this trash up. Niggas love trash.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I believe you got some people, but more or less, all these moves, she's done a couple of moves that, or even her and the other chick, that people are like,
Shuki
what?
with the good coochie.
It makes it a lot of it. It makes no sense.
Like, what the fuck is that?
It's not like they let her put out the record and just shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like they show other shit with these females, and it's like, yo, you embarrass yourself. Like, how could we think that shit is cool at all? You understand what I'm saying? And they put it out there, they run it, they show her, and it be like, yo, that's embarrassing. You'd be like, yo, that's embarrassing. But
so what the kids supposed to listen to? Kids Bop? Like what they supposed to listen to? What is like Taylor Swift? Like what you want the kids to listen to?
Man, there's a ton of other artists they could listen to. Yeah, let's say Kids Bop. What's wrong with that?
Well, a 5-year-old, yeah.
Yes,
but I'm
exactly.
talking about when they get to like 9 to 10, like what they supposed to listen to.
There should be somebody they can listen to. They shouldn't be listening to that.
No, that's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I feel like what sucks is like my daughter, like she knows everything. She knows the music. She knows the artist. See, that's the thing. I nipped it at the bud where I know that you like a certain artist. I'm gonna just try to just curb the radio all times to stay with. But she is familiar with the artist.
Or to play the clean version.
It's school. So, for instance, like Coil Ray, I'll play the clean version of her like Players song. I'll play. She likes the Ice Spice and Nicki Minaj song, the Barbie song. Yeah. I had to find a clean version. Yeah, exactly. I had to find a clean version.
You find a clean version, yeah.
Yeah.
Because all our daughters go to the same dance school. Shout out to Artistry. Like we got a little playlist that we play to get her hype. You know what I mean? And it's a little,
Hypnotize, like Hypnotize, the Biggie song from dance. I had to get the clean version of Hypnotize.
Yeah. We play the cleans and then we play it. And it's so, like, you teach them that this is art and it's not always, this isn't real life. Yeah. Like this is just art, and this is you learn to discern. Hopefully, I could teach her the way I learned that. Okay, all right, Mobb Deep has an interlude where they're shooting at somebody outside the project window. You know what I mean? But it's like that's just art.
Now look. Now see. When you say that, how does that sound?
It sounds crazy, but me at 12 and 13 listening to it, I understood. Crazy. I'm never going to do that. They probably never did that. This is just something that they just did. This is a piece of art, and you got to kind of teach your kids to separate themselves. Well, listen,
there was the Luke. There was the Luke. She's just the Luke of, you know what I'm saying, of 20, 23, and 24. She's the female Luke. She's just having a good time and just going crazy. And it's exactly what Luke did in 2 Live Crew, right? It's no different. It's the same thing.
The difference with Luke is he was an innovator.
Come on, man.
You never seen that shit.
Come on, man. Well, she's the female one. That's an innovator.
No. I think she doubled down on her nastiness because all these chicks are talking that shit. On, man. You go to Cardi, you go to Megan, you go to Lotto. It's like pussy. It's how nasty, how raunchy you can get.
Okay, Megan, I don't classify Megan by her nastiness.
She had a song, Wet Ass Pussy was her best song.
But Megan could actually rap, though. You can't tell me Megan Thee Stallion can't rap.
But when her verse is saying that she has wet ass pussy, who gets to the verses?
Nah, but I mean like Sexy Red, her image is based off of her nastiness. I don't take Megan Thee Stallion as.
And this is what I'm saying, right? Like you said, Megan can rap. Sexy Red can't rap, right?
All the way. No.
And then as far as image is concerned, it's not like she's nasty where she's pretty nasty. She's not even attractive. Like she just looks nasty. Like
hey man,
So
each his own, right?
Everybody's attractive.
I said to each his own.
Yeah, I know she probably appeals to a certain demographic, but
shout out St. Louis, yo.
Anyway, whoever she appeals to is not. I don't know if it's worth the trouble. That hurt. Like yo, she has one of them records is dope. I like the ski record. Right?
Now you giving shit props.
No,
now
I
you
said
giving
it. I
shit
said
props.
that. No,
that beat
you
is
kicking
hard.
her back in. Now
I
you giving
said-
shit props.
I said that before.
That's just hard.
But it's not enough for her to be pushed like she's being pushed.
She's the people's champ, Ron. She solicits a reaction. The more we do, like, yo, you remember Floyd, like Floyd Mayweather, yo. People used to buy his pay-per-view to watch him lose. It doesn't matter how you feel about somebody, as long as you feel. That's the thing. Like, just get a reaction off of somebody.
I don't
you know
think
what I mean?
so.
Indifference.
I don't think it's the same thing.
Indifference is the worst reaction to anything.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
I
like,
see what you're saying.
Indifference is the worst thing.
Whether they
Either
hate
you
you,
gonna
love you, get
the money's going in the pocket.
How
People
you
will pay $100 to watch Floyd lose.
You really comparing her?
Yes,
That's true.
To
That's a good one.
Somebody that could be considered the best boxer to ever live.
But
right?
they don't get. But
to a mediocre new rapper, right? You're comparing her like she's equivalent to him.
That's the word I'm looking for. Polarization. She's polarizing. She solicits a reaction. I've been waiting for this word the whole night. I couldn't get it. Polarizing.
I don't
She's
even believe
polarizing.
that.
Polarizing people make money and they get things invested in them. We're gonna push. As long as you feel a way about this person, good or bad, we're gonna push this shit because people are gonna do it. Look like see the Loris Tucker. We sound like see the Loris Tucker back in the day. You know what I mean? Talking about like yo, the rap music, they saying bitch. You think that didn't? You think for us that wasn't like a commercial for that shit? Oh, I gotta hear this new record that these people hate.
Mm-hmm.
When the mothers were crushing the CDs and all that shit, we gotta hear what they hate.
Talking about that earlier.
We gotta hear this shit because they hate it so much.
NWA,
they're right, like they're the enemy now. Now we gotta hear this shit.
I don't believe
it's rebel music. Like it's
so you
rebellious.
feel like she gets that much hate?
Yes,
I don't think she gets that much hate. I don't think so.
Like the little girl, the little dance school teacher was crying over her.
She's one.
Crying.
She's a teacher.
Yeah.
She was
like they say you.
She's a teacher. If her children are in the class, like let's say it's 20 children that want to listen to it compared to her that has a problem with it.
Go home and listen to that shit with your kids. I mean, with your parents.
All I'm saying is that the number of people that are against her is not nothing compared to the people that support it, that listen to the music.
It doesn't matter, Ron.
But I think it's pushing your face so much that it's gonna be there
because the comment section is gonna be there.
I don't think even
people are gonna
they like it.
Disagree when they repost this shit onto the Source, onto 2 Quarter Block, onto Baller Alert. When they repost her latest video when she's pregnant in the jail barefoot, it's gonna solicit a reason. Oh, I don't know why we even doing this, or this shit is dope. Keep it going, sis. You know, it's gonna solicit, and this all makes money. That's why I asked you, is black culture trash culture? Because they push trash in our face for us to get a reaction, and the reaction is what makes the money. Looking like Love and Hip Hop and all that. It was just about sitting across the table, splashing the shit, and then it's a girl fight. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, and we did the same thing. People were online reacting to it, but everybody watched it. Because you got to watch what everybody else is watching, right? We got to see the train wreck. You know what I mean? You got to see the car crash. You know what I mean? I waited this long in traffic. Let me see. See what the fuck going on. That nigga hanging out the goddamn window. All right. You know what I mean? Like, yo, it is what it is. I don't know how to fix it. But nigga, I keep my kids away from y'all. I think it's up to. I don't know. I don't do that shit. My kids is far away from y'all niggas. I don't do all that ski.
This
shit,
is
nigga.
Black women's fight. This is their fight.
A lot of fathers in my classroom, nigga.
This is Black women's fight.
Yeah.
Y'all in labels. Y'all in the industry. Y'all got executive positions, but y'all let her represent y'all. That's a no-go. That's up to them to rectify that.
That shit put food on their table.
If you see, and this is what I'm saying, like, yeah, you got a title, you in the label or whatever like that, But who's making those really making those decisions?
Mm-hmm.
Who makes the power moves? Is it your boss who might be some white man or some alternative man that you think is y'all cool with, but on the low, he wants to put a shit stain on the image of your likeness. This is who he picks to represent you. But you're supposed to be a high-level executive at the label.
Stop. That's skirting accountability. Come on.
What?
Blaming it on Whitey. It's not Whitey's fault. Niggas like ratchet shit. It's niggas' fault. Niggas always gonna nig. Niggas always gonna the ratchet
so you
shit.
You feel like black men pick Sexy Red to
we talking about it. Yeah, it's in our face. We always like the rat. Niggas love the ratchet shit.
I think women like it. I think women.
All right.
It's up to them.
It's up to them. As much
it's up to them to pick who represents them.
Yeah.
We don't pick who represents them. All right. When they wanted Michelle Obama, they had Michelle Obama.
What was Michelle Obama? She was married to a nigga. Like, what does that mean?
Whatever. It don't matter. But that's the one that they idolize and they worship. It could be Beyonce, whatever, right? Now, Sexy Red is in that.
Got a titty out every freaking chance she gets. She got her titties out. She got the thing. You always got to have a little a little level of ratchetness to appeal. You know what I mean? Because that's where the money at.
You don't.
That's the proven formula, yo. You get the bottom of the barrel of the blacks to approve of it, and that's like the freaking sounding board for the rest of the damn country. Once the fucking dirty niggas love it, then the fucking clean niggas gonna love it, and then Whitey gonna love it, and then it's the cash cow.
Okay.
Why you take me here? You always get me to this point where I wake up in the morning and think about shit I said on this fucking show. We go anywhere. We got something left.
All right.
What we got? I think we got like 2 more.
Yeah.
Yo, I watched the documentary. I watched another one. I watched the documentary on the Juul, cigarettes, the electric cigarettes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was an interesting documentary.
Already? Those are relatively new.
Yeah, but it was like kind of like it was almost like a proof of concept. Like they kind of started out as a company that were trying to get people to stop smoking. They were trying to be like the Briggs to stop smoking cigarettes to get to smoke, like these e-cigarettes. And they felt like the carcinogens came from lighting the cigarette on fire and inhaling the cigarette. You know what I mean? Smoke. Mm-hmm. So they put a lot of money into it, and their bad guy was big tobacco. So they ended up, at the end, it really wasn't making money. So they ended up taking money from big tobacco, partnering with them, and putting more nicotine into the e-cigarette to actually make it compete with an actual cigarette. So, it was a 3-part documentary. It was kind of interesting. They tried it. What I took away from it is that every business doesn't end or become successful the way it starts. Like, shit, talk about like us. Like, we started with like 8 niggas. It was the Wu-Tang Clan in here, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was mad niggas. Now it's just us. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, every business doesn't start the way it doesn't end or become successful how it starts, and marketing is key. Like, they really put a lot into marketing it. And that's what really made it pop. So I had a couple of good takeaways from it. It's an interesting doc. It was on Netflix, so whoever want to check it out.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Check it out.
Yeah, man.
All right, we gotta go to.
Let's go to closure.
All right, so we got 2 on closure.
Let's go to the one with the numbers.
All right, 13 closure questions. I don't know. I feel like we should go to the why do you need closure first.
Let's go for it.
All right.
Because I need closure. From who? The motherfucker that hurt you think the person that is putting you through the hell, the trauma, the pain, the neglect, the abuse, the infidelity, you think that person is going to be the same person that now hands you closure? Every time you go over there to have that, this is the end talk, don't you end up being more hurt and confused than normal? That nigga ain't about to give you closure. If anything, he gonna make it seem like it's your fault. Guilt trip you for leaving, and he's gonna flip it on you. Listen, this man didn't care enough to keep his pants closed. Why the fuck you think he care enough about you to help you get closure after he's the one that opened the heartbreak that you are experiencing? How you expect the person that is the source of your pain to be the person to relieve it? Sometimes you don't need to have no conversations. Sometimes the best closure you can get is a cold shoulder and a block message on Facebook.
I'm glad you played that first. Yeah.
Why?
Because his perspective on closure was you shouldn't have a conversation with the person that hurt you or the person that was wrong in the relationship. But I mean, I'm not a fan of closure. I don't really feel like people need closure. I think closure is another way to get that last smash. I feel like I don't know, because I feel like it always ends with. I feel like it always ends with what you doing later. Yeah, what you doing later? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, closure's trash. I feel like closure is done in internally though. I feel like you have to internalize what really happened in that relationship, what that person really did to you, and what you could really do better. I feel like all the work is internal. All of it.
I don't think it's that easy to self-assess. So you might need feedback.
You're just gonna argue. If you can't self-assess and you can't come to that place where, like, okay, I'm gonna own this, I'm gonna own that, then there's no point in having that conversation.
Yeah, that's what I was
like,
going
nigga,
to
you
say.
left hell. Why are you going back? Like, what the fuck? Like, no one goes back to jail to be like, yeah, I didn't clean that cell out the way I wanted to. Like, nigga, you leave and you don't look back, nigga. You know what I mean? Like,
all right, so
I left a pair of slippers in there. I left my Susie.
You have to be mature enough to have the conversation.
Why?
If you're mature enough to have the conversation, you can get something from it.
Okay.
Right? Because
I'm open to listening to
you. Got to, like, in order to, like, when the guys work on a space station, astronauts and shit, they shooting rockets up or whatever, they got to figure out why they failed. So the next attempt can be better than the last.
Yeah.
Right? So it's the same thing with relationships. You got to figure out, all right, what did I do wrong? And you have to be mature enough to feel like, to say to yourself, like, I had a part in the demise of this situation.
But those people aren't asking the rocket why it failed. The rocket's blown up in pieces. I feel like that's what asking the person that the relationship failed with. Like,
I think if you're asking for closure, you're kind of accepting some accountability, because you're not going to say, like, oh, I need closure. What did you do wrong in a relationship to make me break up with you? Nobody's gonna answer that question.
But it only works in the rare situation that both of y'all are mature enough to really say what y'all did wrong. And
I don't think it takes both. It just takes one.
At
least somebody's gonna walk away with something. Like, you and your lady, you break up, and you say to her, like, yo, what did I do wrong? Yeah. She could talk hella shit about you, but you could take it and be like, as long as you don't, like, take it and like, yo, I want to go back at her because she said some foul shit about me, so I'm gonna say some foul shit about her. If you're not on it like that, and you say, all right, I understand what you're saying. You said I do this, I do that, or I could have done this better. All right, I'll eat that, I'll take that. And you could take it, you can assess it, and you can move on. But if you're not mature enough, and she says something negative about you, you might want to go back and say, well, yeah, I was this, but you was that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But because I'm not ready to own that part of it, or like it's the same. You weren't ready to own that part of it then. Maybe you might find something else or something, like, you know.
I think if you ask that question, you should be. If you're mature enough to ask the question, you should be mature enough to hear the answers.
I think a large part of closure as well too is getting your shit off. It's like, you ever get to an argument with somebody, or have like a micro transaction that's not really like pleasant with somebody, And when you walk away, like, damn, I should have told that bitch this, or damn, this nigga, man, I should have got it. You know
All
what I
the
mean?
time, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But now you get that chance to get that shit off. That you've been holding on to this script for like a year that you really wanted to, you know, you rehearsed this thing and yo, you hurt me when you did this and this and that and that. And it's just like, yo, you just trying to, I don't know. I just feel like it's unnecessary and it's a bit childish. And I think it's a way to just get the skins again. I feel like.
I really feel like some people, they can't move on until they get some closure. They may even get into another situation and they're still thinking, like, what happened in the last shit? Why didn't it work out?
That's a good question. Is it appropriate to get closure if you're with somebody else? Is it appropriate? You've moved on. Six months. You're dating someone else another 3 months.
It's all about maturity, man.
Your ex-boyfriend is in town, and now he wants to have dinner with you, but you're with somebody now. Is it okay to go back and have that final conversation?
It's all about maturity on every level. Even that new dude has to be mature enough to be like, all right, well, I don't want you doubling back and trying to always have in your head, what if that worked out or whatever? Yeah, maybe you guys should have a conversation.
That's real mature.
Very mature.
You think he's just saying that because he feels like he has to be macho in that moment, or you think he really means that? I feel like people get pressured into saying that they're okay with bullshit that they're not really okay with because it's not fly to be like, a nigga don't really want you going to dinner or getting a coffee with your ex-work.
All right.
Like, no man really wants that, but we can't kind of say that because we'll look insecure if we say that. Wouldn't a man look insecure if he says that?
Nigga, like, but you a fucking car with a head gasket problem that never got fixed. And you passed, I bought you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I bought a car with a fucked up head gasket.
Yeah, but I'm not bringing it back.
It could have been fixed if the last owner told me like, yo, the head gasket is fucked up. Right.
Yeah.
You gotta fix the head gasket.
Right.
And then you good.
But I'm not bringing it back. The previous owner fucked that head gasket up by driving it mad hard. I'm not leaving the car that I just bought from that previous owner with that owner for him to fuck it up. I'm gonna drop you off this car, right? Drive this shit for a week to the mechanic to fix it. While you're doing that, you're fucking it up more. Like, you don't fucked it up already. Give me the car that I brought. Let me fix this shit. Let me take it to my mechanic, get this shit diagnosed, and get this shit right.
You don't
if
know
I can't
though.
Fix it, I'm gonna
You don't know. Nobody knows.
You're done with this fucking car.
No. See, that's where you get it wrong. You don't know though. You don't know.
I'm not giving my girl that I'm putting work in the green light to go deal with a fucking nigga who gave her all these fucking problems. Like, nigga, you need closure. You still in your head, you still want to be with this nigga. Go be with this nigga. I'm not doing it. I'm not accepting it. That's some shit back in the day. You know what I mean? I would have accepted it. You know what I mean? Like younger me, I would have felt.
You don't feel like you're getting a flawed person?
Everybody flawed, Ron. We're flawed. Everybody's flawed. Everybody who's ever been in a relationship ever in life is flawed.
The way you fix your flaws is
by moving on.
No, not necessarily by moving on.
Doubling back and getting all that garbage on.
You got to figure out what they are. You have to do a self-assessment, and then you work on fixing it. You do the work to fix it.
It sound like why Cassie was in that fucking mess. Kept trying to get that closure. Like, nigga, you don't keep going back to somebody who keep doing you dirty. You leave them niggas alone. You leave the relationships over. If you don't got no kids with that person, or you don't got no property or no business or whatever, that person's dead to you, yo.
You're speaking as if it always has to be a toxic situation.
Right.
What if it's not?
So why do you need closure from a non-toxic situation? If it was an amicable, great breakup, we just listen. We could maybe
in every breakup, there's something that went wrong.
You only need closure from the toxic shit.
No, not necessarily.
It's always the worst of the worst.
Not necessarily.
I'm
no,
telling you right now,
bro. If you guys broke up, there was an issue, right? And it's like, all right, we weren't good together, or I didn't like when this happened. It's never gonna be all gravy train, and we just broke up because we like,
This is why I'm a big proponent of ghosting people. I don't want to deal with this shit. I don't want the call back. Like, yo, I died. I fell off the Williamsburg Bridge, bitch. Like, I don't exist anymore. Like, you can't find me no more. Like, pre-social media, like, when you left, you were gone. You know how many times I threw the Batman fucking smoke bomb and I was peace. Never see you again. Get the fuck out of here. Like, yo, that saves you a lot of bullshit. Like, yo, calling back, yo, I give me a closure. I give me a year. Like, yo, hold on.
Nobody wants to live with regrets.
He good.
Nobody wants to live with regrets.
He good. That's the make-believe shit. Niggas double back to get the closure because they still see, like, yo, Shorty still wounded. Maybe I can still get that. You know what I mean? It's never like closure. Closure is so. You sound immature. You sound immature. I'm being a buck. Come on.
You sound immature.
Come on.
So, yo, you don't want it. Like, yo, some people will move on, not get any closure, and still be. That's why people go back and fuck with their ex and shit, because they didn't get past all the bullshit that they were going through in the relationship, and toxicity becomes normal, right? So your ex can do some toxic shit to you, and it brings you right back to that, right? But then you might remember some good shit.
Slow down. So you're saying that people get back with their exes because they didn't have closure?
They don't have to necessarily get back to sleep with each other or have a moment.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Because
that moment
that closure conversation facilitate that person being around you again?
It's not about being around each other, right?
Like maybe a phone call? What does it mean?
All right, so think about it like this, right?
Yeah.
If not we, but if you're in a relationship and some argument, toxic, have sex, and you go back and you go back and you're back to normal, right? That's your cycle, right? You not being in a toxic state and having a mature conversation, that's something different. That's not going to bring you back to that time of when you guys are in a relationship. That shouldn't bring you back to sex, because that's not your cycle in your relationship. It's something different. It's something new, right? So you might feel like, all right, now I can leave this person alone. You understand what I'm saying? We're not now, if we saw each other and we argued again and we like, yo, we got to have some makeup sex, and then it's that same cycle that we normally have. We trying to do something different.
No, Ron, we know how we gonna play it. We get that call, yo, let's get that conversation back. Yo, let's get that. Yo, I wanted to be close. Now she always wanted you to grow a beard. Now you grow your beard out. You know what I mean? You done been in the gym. You getting your shit right. You wearing that shirt and that cologne that she like. Niggas know they put it on. Like, everybody put it. All right, so people go to that closure relationship, like to that closure meeting or whatever, not on the A game. Everybody's like, come on. Like, what's the, come on, man.
They probably trying to look the best they look.
Closure is immature.
All right, should we go to the questions?
Come on, let's go for it.
All right.
I'm with it.
Hold on.
Closure. So you don't believe in emotional intelligence, but you
questions to ask your ex in order to get closure and move on. My disclaimer is that I think some of these questions are emotionally dangerous, and it's probably a very bad idea to ask them if the breakup is really fresh, and you don't need to ask them in order to get closure. Okay, here we go. 1, can you honestly tell me why you think the relationship ended? 2, what do you think we could have done differently, if anything, to save the relationship? 3, when did you first notice that things weren't working out? 4, what are some positive things that you'll always remember about us? 5, if you could give my future partner some advice about how to best meet my needs, what would it be? 6, what do you think we each need to be accountable for in regards to the demise of the relationship? 7, what did you learn about yourself while in a relationship with me? 8, what would you say are my biggest red flags? 9, what do you think are my biggest green flags? 10, do you think we should take space and not talk to each other for a while? 11, do you want to be friends in the future? 12, what's the overall narrative that you think you'll walk away with about our relationship? 13, is there anything you want to ask me?
They go by one by one.
What, you want to go through it again?
Yeah. Play the sassy general one by one.
Do it, man.
General.
Little Dicky.
Questions to ask your ex in order to get closure and move on. My disclaimer is that I think some of these questions are emotionally dangerous, and it's probably a very bad idea to ask them if the breakup is really fresh, and you don't need to ask them in order to get closure. Okay, here we go. 1, can you honestly tell me why you think the relationship ended? 2,
Pause. Can you honestly tell me why you think the relationship ended? Because you was crazy. Or because I was crazy? If I'm crazy, I don't know I'm crazy.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Say that again.
Number 1. What was the number 1 question? What was the first question?
Can you honestly tell me why you think the relationship ended? I think that if you're trying to be better,
Okay.
if you're trying to be better moving forward, those are the type of questions you would ask.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's I think it's all about being better. Like if you get closure and you figure out what you did wrong in your previous relationship, you'll be better in your next relationship. Now, a lot of times, like people try to do it themselves.
This is for y'all.
It's good to have feedback.
This is for y'all relationship. This is for y'all thing. I don't know. I feel like this is therapy. Like this is leading y'all back into like helping each other out, be together. This is shit that y'all should have did. This is the work y'all should have did before y'all broke up. This isn't homework to do after. This gonna bring you back. Nelly and Ashanti had this meeting and they ended up getting back together. This is a question they asked each other during they closure shit. You know what I mean? This is the get back question. What's the second one? Hold on. Yeah.
what do you think we could have done differently, if anything, to save the relationship? 3,
boom. What do you think we could have did differently, if anything, to save the relationship?
That question, that's a question you shouldn't ask. I think you should nix that.
Why?
Because it's like, you don't live in the past. We moving to the forward. We're moving forward. We're moving to the future.
Okay. All right.
Like you don't ask no question like that. That's when, all right, you might be trying to rekindle.
It's like an argument, but that's like an argument in itself.
This whole thing is rekindling. Yeah. This whole thing got the lighter. You know what I mean? It's got the little Wayne lighter all over it, yo.
Taking advice.
Come on now. They trying to
keep taking advice from people.
Fire. They trying to get this shit going. Come on now.
When did you first notice that things weren't working out? 4, what are some positive?
What was 3?
When did you first
realize
that things weren't working?
When you fucked that nigga in Cancun, I couldn't get over that shit. The fuck? Well, what do you want me to say? You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, what are you supposed to say here? When did you first realize things weren't working out? Okay, let's be adult on this one. When you said a certain thing to me, like in an argument, maybe people said words that they couldn't get past.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, you said that shit, and I kind of was like, yo, this shit over.
And you don't think that that's constructive criticism for the next relationship? So that person knows, like, yo, you don't go there.
But why I'm helping the ops for? Ops. In our day, we wanted to see our fucking exes down and dirty. Why are we helping them like prosper?
Maturity. The word of the night is maturity, right? We're talking about being in a mature state.
I only got
right?
like 30 seconds of time.
So if we're talking about improvement, being the best version of ourselves,
we got to help our partner improve.
Not even help our partners. We're trying to help ourselves, and then and maybe indirectly we may help our partners.
If you got those words like, yo, listen, like, yo, you were arguing, you said a couple things that I really couldn't take back. You know, like, yo, don't say certain things.
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
Arguments or whatever. You learn how to talk to people.
Absolutely.
And
that's very important because a lot of folks, they run their mouth and they keep the same energy for everybody.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, I ain't hitting you, but I can say whatever.
Yes.
Like they don't know what verbal or emotional abuse actually looks like. All right, come on, let's be grown up for the rest of these. Let's be make sure.
Like, the things that you'll always remember about us. 5, if you could give my future partner some advice about how to best meet my needs, what would it be? 6,
that's no, come on.
That's
future,
too much.
Future. Come on, when he in it,
that
wiggle
is too
his.
much. That's too much.
When he in it, wiggle. You know what I mean? Like, come on. I'm gonna give him tips for like pleasing you? Like, come
All
on.
Nah, that's a trash.
Too
That's a
much.
trash
doing?
question.
Yeah.
That's trash. That's trash.
We tried. Cool. We
Yeah.
tried to be grown up.
Okay, what's the next
Come
one? What's the
on.
next one? Now I'm
Do
here.
you think we each need to be accountable for in regards to the demise of the relationship? 7.
What we
think
gotta
that's-
be.
I
And he
think that's
acting like the
super-
same
that's
question.
super important.
He asking the same shit in different ways
Nah, that
too.
was
He
a
dragging
point,
this
huh?
one.
That was a good one. That was
That was a great one.
He had that shit like 2 times already. Now I'm annoyed. If she asking me that, I just tell you the first time, like, yo, just don't talk to me crazy. Talk to me nice. And I was asking for the pussy and you didn't give it to me.
I think that's the most important question.
Wait. That was out of all of them so far. Well, out of all of them
So far, yeah. That's
What
that's
do
the
we
mo-
both have to?
Yeah. What did we both?
It's only
How
it's
do we
only
both
constructive.
contribute to the demise
It's
of the
only
relationship?
constructive if they answer for each other, though. I tell you what I think that I did wrong, and you tell me what you think you did wrong, and then we meet ourselves in the middle. It can't be. I'm gonna tell you. 'Cause that's another argument. That's another argument.
No, what you said is an argument.
What?
Because you telling if you telling that person like what they did wrong, and they telling you what you did
No,
wrong.
that's
That's
the
an
opposite.
argument.
No,
If
that's what I'm saying.
everybody's accountable
that's the
for
whole
themselves,
thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm
you
saying.
can't argue about that.
That's what I'm saying.
You said this is what you did wrong.
No.
I said
I'm
what
saying,
I did.
I'm saying what I did wrong, and you say what you did,
Oh,
did
okay.
wrong.
Yes,
That's what I'm
yes,
saying. Yeah. That's the only way it's gonna work.
Mhm.
Or else it's gonna be an argument again.
What did you learn about yourself while in a relationship with me? 8.
Well, I guess on some growth shit, on some growth and development shit that helps.
I don't think that's a good question.
It's like the survey after.
Those are the
Just nothing question, nothing.
It's a survey.
I learned that I don't want to fuck with bitches like you.
That's
what I learned.
That was a survey question. How'd you like your service? How'd you like your service type
Those
vibe?
type of questions are re-entry
Rate
questions.
this app.
I think those are re-entry questions.
This app 5 stars. I give it the 5 stars, then it transferred me back to some shit to write a whole
should be like,
paragraph.
leave a
What the
review?
fuck? Leave me alone.
Well, leave a
Yeah,
review.
already. Come on, I'm already out of here.
Nah, bro. I mean, yeah. Come on. That's,
Can't believe in heaven because we're living in heaven.
That's a re-entry question.
Right. All right.
there.
What would you say are my biggest red flags? 9. What do you think?
That's helpful information.
Doom.
Long as it doesn't end in an argument. Long as it doesn't.
When I
end in
met
an
your
argument.
friends, I knew you wasn't gonna be shit.
Right. If you're asking the question, right, you're initiating that question, then if you can escape an argument there, you might be able to learn something, right?
Mhm.
Objectively, or take some, leave some. But that's a good question.
I think the toughest questions you'll learn the most about yourself.
Yeah,
and you'll be better.
Because honestly, that question, it kind of gives you an insight of how you're perceived.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You think you walking around the world, everybody sees you the way that you see yourself.
Mhm.
But it was like, yo, actually, that shit you do, nigga, that shit be having you looking crazy, nigga. You stop doing that, nigga. I see you, nigga. I see you eating your boogers, nigga. Like I see you every movie we watch, nigga. Using your nose, nigga. You need to relax. Nigga, see that? Yeah. So no. That's bad. That's a bad flag. Eating boogers is a bad flag, right?
Yeah, but you should have done that. You should have gotten that out your system already. You should have done it. Moved on. Okay.
Are my biggest green flags? 10. Do you
the green flags is getting the
biggest
draws. That ass.
That can
see those.
That can
That's another re-entry question. Yeah.
That ass is the green flag.
Yeah.
Let me see it.
Yeah, you start giving compliments.
Yeah, let me see it.
You never know what can happen.
Well, you always had a pretty mouth.
It's not the time for that.
You always had a pretty mouth.
think we should take space and not talk to each other for a while? 11. Do you?
I died. You brought me back. I'm the Walking Dead.
I think if you got to this question, like it's like, what's the point now to say do we think we should take time away and not speak to each other?
You lucky I'm here.
I believe anybody that's doing something like this, that's asking questions for closure, you should give that person a certain amount of time. Yeah. It shouldn't be fresh. It shouldn't be fresh out of the relationship.
Either.
You probably need a good
get it all out
4 to maybe even 6 months in order to revisit. 3 to 6 months to revisit these particular questions.
3 to 4 months is still fresh, dog. Still fresh. I think you need at least 8 to a year.
A year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
3 to 4 is still fresh. That wound is still open.
We got a couple more.
Is that I think some of these questions are emotionally dangerous, and it's probably a very bad idea to ask them if the breakup is really fresh, and you don't need to ask them in order to get closure. Okay, here we go. 1.
Oh, it's up on top.
No, I guess it did.
Get it
All
right.
That's enough then.
Yeah, right.
Get it right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That nigga was trying to get the skins again. Whatever skins he's into. No, I'm on.
You know, speaking overall from the whole thing, the whole video, it just shows that what closure is about. What you're trying to gain from closure.
I feel like I was validated with that. I feel like he was trying to get the skins again. I feel like that validated my initial statement. That hasn't given me closure on what I thought about closure.
If you're a person that's accountable for your actions,
do your own work,
and you're doing work on yourself, and you want to be better going forward.
Yeah,
I think it's very valid to have a conversation about closure.
Ooh. Every nigga needs
a villain. Every
nigga need a villain. As long as you hate her, you're gonna get in the gym a little harder. You're gonna get your paper up. You're gonna be you know what I mean? Make her your villain. Hate that bitch.
I understand, but you're talking about on the outside. What about on the inside?
Fine.
These questions will help you on the inside.
Call us. Yeah. I'll ask Cigars and Whiskey. We help you.
All right. So we're gonna bring it home, man.
Take it to church.
Last one we got is the are you obligated to have sex? Are women obligated to have sex with their
this for last?
Yeah, that was the title of the show.
Yee.
All right.
Obligated to have sex with their man whenever he feels like it.
Absolutely not.
Okay, and why?
Obligation. You know, if you don't feel like doing it with them, you shouldn't have to feel like you have to.
I don't feel like paying the bills this month.
What did he say? Oh, what's going on here then?
Oh, what's going on?
These nuts.
So you see, it goes off my feelings. So you think about it, right? So a woman's main agency is her sexuality, right? A man gets into a relationship expecting sex, and you expect him to be monogamous, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if you expect a monogamous relationship, then how is it a fair deal? Like the man, his main agency is protecting and providing, right? Mm-hmm. So if I don't want to pay the bills, you like, wait, what? Babe, I don't want to have sex. Wait, what? This is what we signed up for me to protect and provide for you, and for you to, whenever I feel like it.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Don't go to me first.
Don't go to you first?
Mm-mm.
All right. I'll stick with it.
Come on. Come on.
I think people will get caught up in the verbiage.
Yeah.
When it comes to the wording of, obligated.
Mm-hmm.
He also said women's main agency is sexuality.
He ain't lying.
And the same way men's duties are to protect and provide, women's, women should actually be readily available for sex for their husbands or their significant others.
Mm-hmm.
Obligated, it might sound a little
it's triggering,
mm-hmm. But when you think about the simplicity of a man, right? It's not much that a man really wants. He probably wants food. He probably wants some silence, and he might want some sex.
Mm.
Very basic needs. It's not really much that a man wants.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, all right, why can't he have that?
Real easy.
All right, but
like having a pet that you gotta fuck. You gotta feed him, put some water out.
But as far as I know, women are going to rebut the whole argument because they're going to say, all right, you guys are supposed to protect and provide, and most women are out working and providing also, right? So it's like they are working full time, taking care of a household, and they got to tend to their husbands. So if they don't have the energy or the willpower to go ahead and have sex with their husbands, all right, I get it. So it's like, it's kind of like it's a balance, man. It's a balance. Again, I don't think we can kind of talk about traditional things because we don't live in a traditional society at this point in time.
Nah. Wild Wild West.
What's your thoughts?
I feel like women are in charge of women are the gatekeepers to sex. Men are the gatekeepers to relationships and marriage. In a healthy relationship, the woman is in charge of how often you have sex. Like that's is kind of her department. We men, I don't know. I could speak for myself. It feels weird when we're kind of like hawking. You know what I mean? Like no one wants it like that. Men usually want it like sex. We always want it. You know what I mean? But it's like we like to get sex when it feels like it's not a chore. We like to feel like everybody's a willing participant in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I gotta fuck you tonight. Like, all right, I'll be in the room at 9 o'clock. Like, no one wants it like that. You know what I mean? We want the whole, you know what I mean? Like everything is nice, everything is everything is natural. Everything
we don't want to be a burden.
We don't want to be a burden, So women have to understand that, it's proper maintenance for a relationship. And honestly, it is an obligation in a monogamous relationship. Like, I'm sorry, like a sexless marriage is grounds for a divorce. You know what I mean? So it's recognized in the court
All right.
for a reason to dissolve a relationship. So I feel like for like a woman to properly maintain a proper relationship, she got to make sure homie is taken care of.
Well, the average couple has sex once a week. I think the audio went out for a second.
Okay. All right. What are we gonna do, man? We can wrap it up.
Oh man, this fucking
Bring
stream,
it to church.
man.
Yeah, growing pains, y'all.
Yeah, man. I don't know how much of the last portion of the conversation you guys heard, but we had some technical difficulties again. There we go. All right, so I guess we're gonna wrap, man.
Yeah, bring it home.
All right, so we want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Cigars and Whiskey podcast.
Big shout to Mac and Mel.
Yes,
for the bottle. Appreciate. That's a nice,
man.
Nice lid to it. Oh.
Castle and Key.
Yeah, man.
Small batch Kentucky straight bourbon.
This is we could compare this to the Uncle Nearest of last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is it tastes a little younger.
A little bit,
but it definitely has that. It
has a kick.
It packs a punch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a nice bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Packaging is very, very nice. It feels rich. It feels nice. It's a nice bottle. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Shout out to them. We appreciate you guys gifting us a bottle for the show. And want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, Cigargle and Moods by Michelle Rose.
Mm-hmm.
If you're dealing with a cigar breath and you smoke, you know what I mean, and you want to this particular product, it knocks out cigar breath in one rinse. You can check these guys out at cigargle.co, CIGARLE.co. All right, and also you can go and pick yourself up a Cigars and Whiskey candle at Moods by Michelle Rose. Moods is spelled Moods. Michelle with one L, Michele. By MichelleRose.com. And pick yourself up a Cigars and Whiskey candle. Fire. All right. And with that, before we go, by all means, make sure you follow us on Instagram at Cigars Whiskey. That's Cigars with an S, Whiskey. Also, if you have any questions, any comments, any recommendations, you want to recommend a cigar, a spirit, or even a topic, hit us up. If you have a product or a service and you would like to sponsor a show, you can shoot us over an email, podcast@cigarswhiskey.com. Again, podcast@cigarswhiskey.com. If you like the content that we're putting out and you want to show some support, you can do that via Cash App. It's the same as the Instagram, Cigars Whiskey. That's Cigars with an S, Whiskey. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Cigars, the Ensign Whiskey Podcast. All right. And with that, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. We will catch you on the next one. Peace.